World Wide Web.
Sometimes debt
Are we
gets
not?
messy.
We are.
Tidy up your finances with a home equity
Holy
line of
smoke.
credit from Mountain America.
We're gonna talk about
Combine all
year-over-year
your debt into
price
one low-rate payment,
changes.
Or landscape your backyard, pay for college, and more.
What-
For
we're
a
gonna talk
limited
about, Andy,
time,
what
get
your
a
home's value is gonna be in
3.99%
2023.
intro rate on a home equity line of credit at Mountain America.
Right,
Visit
you know, I mean, as I
MACU.com or call
almost wink and say, well, I guess this is one forecast.
1-800-748-4302 for details about credit costs and terms.
There's
At
plenty
Mountain
of
America,
forecasts.
we're here to guide you forward.
Good morning, guys.
What's up, my friends out there? Friends and fans
Are rocking.
and family.
Full load of laundry.
Let's see, are we live? Are we live?
We are
Oh,
live.
we are live, we are live,
Both
okay, good.
We are.
Okay, good.
Every drop counts.
So we are
I
functioning.
helped fix the sprinklers. I shortened my showers.
We are
Easy does
functioning.
it, Washington County.
Easy does it,
Visit
Carl says.
WCD.org to learn more.
All right, are we on? We gonna be doing this thing this morning? I think so.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8:34. We're on about 20 seconds early, Jeremy. I hope you're okay with that.
Holy cow. Give me 20 seconds.
You're gonna
Well-
take a break.
Well, yeah, I just want to be perfect. Good morning, everybody. Jeremy Larkin, host of the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. 20 seconds early. It's not like me, is it, Jesse?
Well, you just used it up.
Absolutely
It's-
not.
It's gone now.
Yeah, I know. You want to win some Lagoon tickets Saturday, guys?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know.
I'm not eligible, am
You could be. Yeah, sure. It's the competitors. We're giving the tickets away.
Just for
I'm
Saturday?
definitely
I
Carl-
need some for.
Carl's coming out Saturday.
I need some for, let's see, the 8th, 9th, the 12th, because I'm going on the 12th, so I need some free tickets on the
I
12th.
like it, man. Let's get you handled. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Jeremy Larkin, of course, host of the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive. We've got Jesse Paul here in studio
Good morning,
with me.
everybody.
He's alive, excited, and full of energy as always. And this Saturday, we're going to be having, we're going to be serving lunch, hot dogs, burgers. We're going to be having just kind of a variety of prize giveaways, including a Lagoon Family 4-pack. We will have Carl Lamar live
Nice.
with us. We're going to be over at the Brookwood Subdivision Grand Opening, 12 to 2 p.m. Saturday, July 13th. And we'll probably hit this thing one more time at the end of the show. But we're hoping you, our listeners, our Facebook watchers, we're hoping you'll come on out. And by the way, this is absolutely realtor friendly. Absolutely come out if you're a real estate agent and grab some lunch. So we'll be there from 12 to 2 p.m. Brookwood it's such a cool place. So this is not their tagline, but I'm calling it the greatest subdivision you never heard of, because it's out there, it's out by Brio, and everybody knows where Brio is, at least most everybody does. They see all the billboards north of the freeway in Washington, kind of near Green Springs. But Brio goes over, and there's this big, beautiful canyon and wash that comes out of Pine Valley and Red Cliffs and Green Springs Golf Course. And there's this strip of land, and this is the Brookwood subdivision. And Brookwood is 37 lots. We have 23 available now. So, a good chunk of those have already been built on or are being built on. We have 23 lots available. And we actually have home starts about $359.9 out there. And it's beautiful, but 0 monthly HOAs. And the reason we're getting people from Brio is a lot of them, Jesse, they want to put their RV
They
in
want an
there.
RV, yep. They want an
Right.
RV in the driveway or a boat beside
Down the side of the house. RV parking. So,
Or no HOA.
yeah, I mean, we're getting people coming from Brio saying, hey, we want out. Sunwood Homes is the builder, and these guys do a fantastic job. It's one of these deals where Brent Baxter, their head, their superintendent foreman on all the construction, it's just a labor of love for him, every project. And Jessica yesterday got visiting with the neighbors and said, hey, how'd it go? Just kind of we wanted to see what they said. Oh my gosh,
They're happy.
these guys are so fantastic.
Yeah, I've talked to a few of them as well.
So fantastic.
They were all really happy.
So if you want to check out, by the way, Sunwood Homes, Brookwood, it's mysunwoodhomes.com. But I've got, if you're on Facebook right now, you can see it. It's plastered on the Sunwood Homes Facebook page, the Larkin Group Facebook page, the Jeremy Larkin Facebook page. It's on Jesse's
Academy
Facebook
Mortgage.
page, Academy Mortgage.
Everywhere.
So we've got a fun little video of me skidding in a golf cart, skidding into the frame of the video. Little 60-second. invite you guys, so that's Saturday, 12 to 2.
That's
And-
the story of your life.
Yeah, it
He's
is.
coming in skidding.
I
Look
know,
out.
man. You're not kidding. You're not kidding, man. So 12 to 2 p.m. Burgers, hot dogs, giveaways, Lagoon Family 4-pack. Come out and tour the model homes, and it's gonna be a great time, right?
It
All right.
is.
So there you go. Jesse,
Yes,
Jesse,
sir.
Jesse.
Jeremy.
We're gonna
Jeremy
talk
Jeremy.
about the fact that there are some pundits out there, some folks who have predicted where home prices will go by the year 2023.
You know, I'm looking at these, and honestly, if this happens in our market, we'll probably be in trouble.
Yeah, and this is, you know, our subject line, if you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, you see the subject line for today's show, which is, what will your home's value be in the year 2023? Well, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, and the reason I say tongue-in-cheek is, it's like, who's gonna win the Super Bowl in 2023? You know, there's a lot of things that could happen
Yeah.
between now and 2023. But before we give that to them, let's talk about this. Let's talk about what's happened in the last couple of years here, okay? So we produce, and I will link for our Facebook viewers, so facebook.com/Jeremy Larkin. I will link the report. Question, I'm gonna answer your question, Dave. We
You got
use
that?
this incredible report from a company called Keeping Current Matters, and we're gonna talk about this, but I actually put a link to it, a PDF, so you can actually open it up and look at it yourself.
Mhm.
Dave Guyman says, question of the day, where did Jeremy ride this morning? I rode, David, thank you for the question. He knew there'd be a good answer. I was out with the Dixie Flyers with the high school team. Rode out at Grapevine/Church Rock, so north of the Maverick on exit 13. You know where that exit's?
Yeah.
So there's that turnout north of the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
We got there, the Dixie High team and the Crimson Cliffs high school team showed up at the same time. There must have been 40 cars and probably about 90 kids on bikes. And we got out there, I should have taken a video at one point. It looked like it was a mountain bike park clear out in the desert because there's just kids everywhere. So that was a good time. Thank you, David, for your question. Joe Newman says loud and clear. So, you know, we're gonna talk about this report, okay? And now, here's the cool part. We always know what did happen,
Mhm.
because it happened. We have proof that it happened,
That's the easy part.
right? It's easy. Hey, I just pulled into the parking lot and I know in my rearview mirror what was behind me. So let's talk about what just happened with home prices, because Jesse says if we go where these guys are predicting for 2023, we'd have a serious problem. Serious
Well,
problem.
Kind of, because a lot of our market is people coming from up north or
Mhm.
Montana, Wyoming, California. So that's not necessarily a problem for them. But for the average guy in St. George, it's a big problem.
It's a
Because
really
right
big
now,
problem.
they're having a hard time affording a home.
Yeah, they're having a hard time affording the most basic entry-level home. So in the last year, actual year-over-year price range for the state of Utah, we are up 8.94%. So, you know, last 12 months, 9%, let's call it, in the state of Utah.
Mhm.
Now, here's the amazing part. This little map of the United States, it's like a high school geography quiz, you know? It ranks this, there's 4 categories: 0% or less than 0%, right, or like a negative, like depreciation. 0 to 3%, 3 to 8%, and 8% plus. There were only 3 states in the country that fell in the 8% plus. Jesse, which were they?
8% plus Nevada, Utah, and Idaho.
Yeah,
And
crazy.
Idaho's still killing it.
Isn't that amazing,
If
Andy?
you go down a few more slides, you're on average year over year. Idaho is in the lead of all 50 states.
14%.
Wow.
So 14% appreciation in Idaho year over year. Nevada 13.35, I'm exaggerating. It's like my mother, this is classic. She'd come in the morning, it's almost 7 o'clock, it'd be 6:25. You know, I mean, that's just how she did it. I hope my
Sounds
sister
like
hears
me.
this. Yeah, it's classic.
But think about this, $300,000 home, 14%, that's $42,000.
Bingo, nice job on your math.
That's a lot of money.
That is a ton of money. And remember that for all the people who are already priced out at 300, then how priced out are they at 340?
So, and that's only talking about half the equation. What happens when in the next 5 years, interest rates go up 2%?
Oh, listen, if interest rates
1%.
were to go up 2%,
It would really stabilize our market.
well, it would stabilize the market, but here's what it would make a home. It would make a $300,000 home like a $450,000 home,
Right.
right? That's what it would feel like financially.
Yeah, payment-wise, go way up.
Yeah, rates are so low right now. So as we talk about home values, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna reiterate what I do every time. Well, if values are so high, why should I buy something? Because interest rates are so dang low.
You can't outsave an interest rate.
No, it's not possible, man.
And they're still paying to keep them down. So
They are.
that's a big factor that.
They've still
I
got
think
the
we
old
don't-
tourniquet on there.
We don't think about. Once that's loosened, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, who knows? So coming back to this, Utah, Nevada, and Idaho, the three highest appreciating states in the country. At Utah, 9%, Nevada, 10+, Idaho, 13. Give us a thumbs up, give us a like, say hello, good morning, and just for fun, let us know where you're watching from. I'd be really curious to know where people who are picking up this live feed are watching from. You know, the funny thing about Facebook is it's like a voyeur community. It's just kind of weird. Like everybody's
Most
just
people like to watch.
peeping in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody wants to say anything. So let us know where you're watching from. And if you've got questions about what we're talking about, or if you've got any real estate question, we want to hear it. So let's come back to this report. All right, Jesse. So 9% year over year, state of Utah, right?
Mhm.
And Case Shiller. This is an economic research firm, right? A think tank, so to speak. What they do is they just take all the data that they possibly can from data that I can't even imagine and understand that exists, and they start to make some estimates. They assess what's been going on, and they'll say, well, here's what's been going on. This is what's crazy. They took a 20-city composite. This is the 20 biggest markets in the country. And they said, well, what's happened over the last year? Price changes. 6.5% in May, 6.2% in June. You know, July.
I think this was May of 2018.
Yes, thank you. And I should say 2018. This was some crazy stuff.
Yep.
So let's go down here, Jesse. What happens? What are they predicting? So these guys are saying by 2023, and this is this cumulative house appreciation by 2023, down below the bull and the bear. All right, let's look at this for a second. What happens if, because the bulls
So
are,
the bull
pro-
market,
yeah, the
and
bulls are positive.
They're saying that that'll go up 27.7%. If we're in a bull market for the next 5 years.
Could you imagine?
Yes, we just did that.
You're absolutely right. Okay.
So to have that 10 years running would be unprecedented, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever happened.
It's never happened. I love the definition of unprecedented, right? So let's take our average sales price in Washington County, which today is what?
Average sales price is
Like median.
360,
Say median.
250.
All right. Okay.
Let me look.
Times 1.23. That makes that average home $430,000.
Okay, so wait a minute, your median sales price is 304.
There you go. Thank you. I knew it was gonna be a little lower. So 304,000, and let's pretend that they go up by this 23%, right? Well, let's find out what that is. That means, median sales price becomes 380, average becomes 4.25.
Yep.
It's expensive, man. That's really expensive. Bears are saying only 6.7%, and all projections average 16.8%. I am going to jump in the bear market. I'm a bear guy.
I'm gonna be closer to the all projections, because we're still gonna see, for the next 2 years, until we really start to see the market shift,
Mhm.
we're gonna see probably 8 to 10% increases for the next 2 years. That's 16 to 20 right there.
Oh, I know.
Because a market doesn't stop immediately, it stops like a locomotive does, over time, slowly. So if we haven't even seen that yet, it keeps teasing, like it'll jump up to 3.9 months of inventory, and then the next 2 months jump back down.
Yep.
So until that continues to increase, we will not see that decrease in intensity and in appreciation,
Well, and you're absolutely right about that. It's like trying to turn around a cruise ship.
right?
You're not whipping that thing on its edge.
No drifting.
Yeah, you're not trying. I don't think so. This is so funny, Joe. Yeah, in 2023, I predict my home will be worth 6.5 million. A gallon of milk will be $72. Yeah, that sounds like Hawaii, man.
Right.
So, this is wild stuff. And if this were to be the case, we would have an interesting situation, right? So going forward, but what about in the next 12 months? And I think that's what people can really wrap their brain around. The home price expectation survey, which is really an average of everybody, is predicting the rest of over 2019, 4.1%, 2.8% in 2020, 2.5% in 2021, and 3% in 2022. And the reason it's so important to look at that is when you break it down year by year, it's not so wild,
Right.
right? And that's this all averages
Yeah,
type.
so
This is
27% is really only, what, 4% a year?
Yeah. Well, no,
No,
more than
five,
that.
five.
Well.
5 times 5 is 25, so it'd be 5.2.
But are we talking about 5 years or 4 years? I guess we're talking about 5 years, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about 5 years.
So it's
5
really
and
not
4.5.
that aggressive, but it is when you consider where we're at today and how
Where
it's, in
things have
St.
been.
George, or southern Utah, it's already hard for the locals to figure out how to buy a home.
Yeah,
Or
and
your
so-
average worker, because our average income, our medium income is $50,000 per household.
Yeah, I think this is fascinating. I cruised down through this report a little bit. How optimistic are Americans regarding future price appreciation? Well, it's called the Optimism Index. Who knew, Andy? You're a pretty optimistic guy.
I'm an optimistic guy, yes.
So it ranks it by the bottom third income group, the middle third income group, and the upper third income group. So the middle third income group, this is interesting. 74% are optimistic about future price appreciation. I'm going to tell you why. I'm gonna tap my fingers and do a little Rush Limbaugh and get it in the microphone.
Okay.
I know why, because we've seen this so many times in real estate. When it's going down, everyone thinks it can only keep going down. When it's going up, everyone thinks it can only keep going up. And I realize that there will be those who will logically go, well, it can't go up forever. But we've been at this a long time.
We have.
We've assisted clients with 1,200 purchases and sales. And I will tell you that whatever is happening in the economy, especially as far as appreciation goes, people want to be optimistic. It's fun to be optimistic. It feels good to believe that the homes will go up. And here's what I think is fascinating. The bottom third income group, only 65%, well, only 65% were optimistic about appreciation. The middle third of income, middle class, 74%. The upper third, the more wealthy, 69%. So slightly less, slightly fewer people thought that, felt optimistic about home prices going up, right? And by the way, let's define this. We all feel positive about it, but we're talking optimistic as in, do they really see that prices are gonna go up? And, Jesse, I'd probably say 10%. I think we can see 10% over the next 5 years, but maybe I'm way off. I don't know. You've been right once or twice. Haven't you?
I don't know about that, but
Yeah.
close to right, maybe.
Yeah. So here's a fun one. Okay. Next slide down.
I was right this year, though, that's all.
I know you were, and I
That's the
was
only thing
wrong.
I care
And I was
about.
wrong. We have a client right now that we're selling this $620,000 home down off of River Road. It's almost on an acre, water shares included. It's really a unique home. Well, they're at 620, and it's been fascinating to watch what's happened. They get showings, lots of showings, loads of showings, and then, but no offers. Well, they got an offer last night, well below that asking price, like $50,000, $70,000 below the asking price.
Wow.
Just for fun, folks, we weren't seeing that I haven't seen that for a few years.
Mhm.
Take that into consideration. We're starting to see a few more of those types
Are
of.
you trying to scare us, Jeremy?
No, but,
I think the locomotive's trying to slow
so
down.
what happened,
Right.
I mean, how does the market really start to shift? Buyers decide that they've had enough. And maybe not even consciously, but you start seeing it in situations like that, where the market just will not support the price they're at. I say
Correct.
sellers and probably realtors too are the last ones to give in.
Mhm.
I was looking at a post last night of a gal saying, man, if I don't know better, I think agents are trying to overprice homes so that they stay on the market longer. And I said, are they doing that, or is the buyer mentality starting to shift and we're not having the right conversation with our clients? If you don't have a written pricing strategy going into a listing, are you really costing yourself money?
Well,
in the long
you're
run?
doing the hope and pray strategy, which isn't
Right.
really a strategy.
Right. And over time,
Like
you'll
a
get
Hail Mary.
less money, as
Yeah.
a seller, you'll get less money with that strategy than you will if you really have a written, proven strategy to sell your home.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
We're not guessing, we're not trying, we're gonna,
And my response to are agents keeping homes or overpricing homes to keep them on the market longer? No, absolutely not. Sellers always want more than the market will bring for the home. This is a fact, and when the market begins to shift just a tiny bit, like we've talked about, then it's even more evident, right?
yeah. So isn't that kinda crazy? We're talking about how strong market it is, but in the same show, we're talking about that we are experiencing a little bit of a shift, but it's still gonna take a while for that complete shift to happen.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
But, cause it starts mentally and it starts slow and it starts
Yeah.
almost like, it's unsensible.
yeah,
You don't really sense
absolutely.
it.
So, and here's one of the challenges we run into. So there's a slide in here. What percentage of homes, like all homes, starter homes, move-up homes, high-end homes, are purchased by investors? Well, not surprisingly, 20.8% of investor purchases are on starter homes. Just 7.8% are move-up homes, and just 6.3% are high-end homes. So, let me tell you what my point is here. Investors, so starter homes, so unless you're selling a starter home, so we're talking about the $620,000 listing, you know, if you look at a pie, like a pie chart of all the people who would come and look at your home, well, if your home is over about $350,000, unless it is the screamingest deal ever, you already lost it says all homes, 11.3% of buyers were investors. You already lost 10 to 20% of the buyers, like instantly. They're not even looking. They're not even looking at the house, right?
Yeah.
So we have this deal where people go, but I have the best home. But I have the best $620,000. My $620,000 home is the best one in the area. But we have water shares, but we have acreage, but we, whatever we have, right? And these are all valid points. And I say, yes, but the pie, it is a very little narrow slice of the pie makes up the people who will look at that home. Andy, question for you. What percentage of buyers would look at a good deal? What percentage of all buyers do you think would look at a good deal if it were 200,000 or under? Of all buyers?
Of all buyers? Well, there's some that wouldn't look at it because they wouldn't think it's good enough, but a lot of them would.
Yeah,
Like-
basically any investor.
Yeah.
Probably
Investors.
80%.
Kind of like if I walked in today, and you're not a real estate investor, but I walked in and said, I have a $250,000 home listed for $195, you'd ask if you could buy it.
Mhm.
Think about this for a minute. But, so what we have to do is when we're selling a home, we have to realize of the pie, of the full pie, how big of a slice is actually there for us for our home, right? So if you have a $225,000 home, single family in Red Cliff, St. George, Utah, it's a massive portion of the pie. Well, now if it starts to get kind of specific, well, it's a two-story, although some people don't want two stories. Oh, and the master's on the second floor, well, another percentage comes out of that. Oh, and it's in New Harmony, well, a lot of people don't want to live in New Harmony. And it's 700,000, well, most people can't afford right? Now what percentage of the pie is left, right?
Just a little sliver.
A little tiny slice, right? So, as we wrap this up, look, guys, they're talking about, Jesse, home values going up as high, predicting as much as 27% by the year 2023. You and I say that's a little stretch.
Yeah,
You think the 16.7%, which is an average of all predictions, is right?
I think that's right.
I'm gonna say about 10%. I think that's awesome. And, you know, this is really great. Tom Daves chimed in. Tom is an amazing agent. Tom, are you still in Roseville, California? Great guy, good friend of mine. He talks about here, this is really great. When prices rise above what people can afford, when prices rise above what people can afford, he's talking about interest rates, unemployment, affordability. These are the issues. Interest rates have to be lowered, right? When prices become too high, they have to lower the rate artificially. We have an affordability problem. Well, we have, you know, what about unemployment? Now, I mean, what happens remember what happened in 2007? Holy cow, people lied their way into loans.
In 2008, everything stopped.
And then all of a sudden they lost their job. And they were supposed to have a $2,400 mortgage payment, which is high. But because they went interest only or some other bizarre thing, it went to $3,400 and they lost their job and they couldn't afford their home. So gang, look, as we wrap up, final minute. If you want to know your home's value today, a quick and dirty snapshot, visit DixieHomeValue.com. DixieHomeValue.com. It's one view. If you want to pick up the phone and call us at 1690, 275-1690. We're happy to give you some information. Come on out Saturday, 12 to 2 p.m. to the Brookwood grand opening. Maybe you
Joe?
should come up.
Tell them where it is again.
Yep, Brookwood, it's in the Brookwood subdivision, north of the freeway next to Brio. Visit mysunwoodhomes.com to grab the address. Brookwood, 12 to 2 p.m. Hot dogs, hamburgers, tour of the model homes, surprise giveaways, including a Lagoon family 4-pack. And that, as they say, is
Is a wrap.
a wrap. There you go. Over and out. Thanks, guys. Okay.